YouTube, what's good? We're finally back with another video. I'm not exactly sure what this one's going to be about, but it is Q4 right now, so things are pretty hectic for me and my clothing brand. So I figured I'll just make another video, keep y'all in the loop, update y'all with what I have going on and my plans for the rest of the year. But yeah, like I said, it's Q4 right now, so it's the fourth quarter of the year, which is by far the busiest time of the year for any brand owner in general, but especially clothing brands. So in the next few weeks, especially with Black Friday coming up and Halloween's always a big drop. I'm going to start seeing probably some pretty crazy numbers on my website. But even already without Black Friday and all those drops, we're going pretty crazy this month, already at 25K in the month of October, and it's only the 20th. So we have the potential to run that up to like 30, 40K by the end of the month, especially because I'm going to be dropping on Halloween. So I've really been prepping for this time of year since about the summer, especially with all my bulk orders and doing everything pre-made from now on. It does take, a month or 2 months to get bulk orders made, especially at my brand scale. So that's what I've been working on and focusing on since the summer, is getting my Halloween and my Black Friday drops ready. And as you can see behind me, some of that bulk already started coming in for those drops. So these are my varsity jackets that just came in. I dropped them before. They were super popular, so I came back with a new colorway, a black colorway. First drop was red, cream, and pink. This drop is only going to be red and then the new black colorway. But I think these go perfect for Halloween, a little two-piece. And yeah, they're fully pre-made. And the shelves are starting to fill back up. And like I always say, it is great to have your pre-made inventory on your shelves, able to show off every day on your stories, whatever it may be, your TikTok, your YouTube. Just having that pre-made inventory gives your customers a lot of trust. It'll push them over that edge if they've been, iffy on buying something from you. Just being able to show off that you have things in stock, ready to ship, is definitely a good plus. If you guys have been following me for a while, though, you know that Juvenile, my brand, it's an established brand. We're not figuring things out still. We're not in our beginner stages. We're actually almost at 7 years of business. My first drop was February 2019, and it's about to be 2026. So we've got things figured out. I've hit every sort of roadblock you can imagine while owning a clothing brand. And really my biggest thing right now that I'm trying to tackle is inventory. I've dropped over probably like 200 pieces since I've had a clothing brand, so it's not like I can keep every single piece I've ever dropped on my site at all times. But that's the problem I ran into with inventory, is thinking that I needed to make my brand, the same model as Supreme. Only drop stuff once, have it super limited, super scarce, and then never drop it again. I thought that would build hype in the long term and just be the best way to go about business, which it is a super good way to go about things if you have a plan afterwards. But obviously I'm not Supreme. I am a mainly online-based streetwear brand. And yes, that scarcity tactic and one-time drops is a good tactic if you are a huge brand like Supreme. Maybe if you have a retail store, and maybe if you have people waiting outside to actually go into your store and buy stuff. But that's not me. So the new approach I'm taking is I have a ton of, fan favorite items, tons of items that people want on my site at all times, tons of posts that people comment on and say, when is this coming back? How can I get this? So right now, the big inventory challenge that I'm tackling is figuring out which products I want to keep on my site at all times and doing the things necessary to be able to keep them there, because that's a lot of bulk ordering in constant cycles. It's a lot of talking to manufacturers, timing out your bulk orders if you're about to run out of a certain piece, because like I said, you have to order these items, a month or two in advance. So there's a lot of planning that goes into this, and even if you're on top of things, this is where math comes into play. This is where the things you learned in school come into play. Thankfully, we have ChatGPT now, where it can kind of be my personal assistant and help me with all this stuff, but literally all of this stuff that I'm going to be getting into with inventory problems is all just crunching numbers. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. Trying to find a good base of products to keep on the website at all times. because I do have a ton of products on my site usually, and none of these are permanent products. These are just my current products, and you can see how many are already on the site. So finding 20, 30 products that can keep my site full, like I just showed you, but permanent, keep them on there forever. Make sure they're winning products. Make sure enough people are gonna buy them frequently. That's what I'm dealing with right now. And it hasn't really been a challenge because I know what my winning products are. I know what people want to restock, but it's really just a waiting game since I ordered them already. It's a bunch of money up front until, they're here and start selling. So it is stressful, leading up to these items coming back in and returning to my site permanently. But I mean, it's all part of the grind. And I'm going to be happy once they are permanent items because I know they're going to fucking rip more than even my current items. I'm confident in every drop I do, obviously, but some pieces don't hit the same as others. Some take a few months to sell out, which I'm perfectly fine with because that's what comes with having so many items out at once. I don't drop 3 to 4 piece collections. I usually drop like 15 plus piece collections. And sometimes some of those pieces have multiple colorways. So I know what comes with dropping a ton of shit. I know what comes with having a ton of stuff on your website and having all this stuff pre-made. So with all of that being said, I might as well just show you guys some of the items that I want to keep online permanently from now on. Number one is obviously going to be the TED backpacks, but not just one of them. I want to keep a few on the website because I wouldn't say this is my all-time bestseller. I think my glasses are, but these are definitely a close second. So I'm going to have the Walk Bears on the site again. This one's all packaged up. And then I also ordered 50 of these cream ones and 50 of the skeleton ones. So 50, 50, 50 Walk Bears. It's going to be 150 total restocking. Yes, I did make all these versions as well, but we're going to see how these 3 do as permanent items. But I'm super excited for these to come back. Definitely one of my best sellers, and people always ask about these. And then on top of the bears that are restocking, I'm also dropping this Megan Fox jacket again, the black acid wash that people love, obviously both those varsity jackets I showed y'all, and then these acid wash long sleeves. So that's going to be my Halloween drop along with the bear restock. And I low-key think it works out perfect because I didn't have any brand new items made for this Halloween drop. These are obviously all stuff that I've dropped before, but I think the colors and the tone of these pieces kind of match Halloween. So it's a good time to restock this stuff, firstly, and to test out permanent items like I just mentioned. These are all super good best sellers, I would say. So having these on the site at all times is definitely going to boost daily sales, monthly revenue, and just reoccurring customers and new customers, honestly. A lot of my clothes are super loud. Not everybody can wear them. So having some more subtle pieces like those long sleeve tees that everyone could wear, new customers, when they come to my site, they might actually see something that they want. It's definitely going to be a plus. I can see it converting really well. So we'll see how that goes, but that is the Halloween drop. I did do like a soft restock of those varsities though on my website, so I do got a few orders to ship out. I'm gonna go do that real quick and then show y'all once those are all packed up. Alright, you guys, I got everything packaged and ready to ship, so I'm gonna go to the post office and drop all those jackets off. Probably hit the gym after that, but later today I will pick up the camera again and show you guys everything I'm working on for that Halloween drop and my Black Friday drop. So until then, I'll catch you guys. What's good, y'all? We are back. It's like 2 days later now. I didn't pick up the camera because I didn't have anything too crazy going on. But today I do got a pretty busy day though. I just drove out to this camera shop about an hour away because it's the only place in Arizona that can fix my nice Sony camera. I'll show you guys. I dropped it a few months ago, and hopefully you guys can see it, but it does have some body damage. You can see like the case is coming off of it. works perfectly fine, but I'm trying to start using this way more, not just my small mini camera. So I'm about to take it into the shop, see what they say. Hopefully it's not too expensive to fix. Like I said, it works perfectly fine, but it does just have body damage. So hopefully they can fix it pretty quick so I can start using that again pretty soon. They did say it's going to take a few days though. So unfortunately I do have to drive back out here again in a few days. So yeah, I'm gonna go drop this camera off though, see what they say, and then later today I do have a bunch of bulk items getting delivered for my Halloween drop, which is next Friday. It's a pretty big restock / Halloween drop. It's all stuff I've dropped before. I showed you guys earlier in the video, but yeah, the bulk gets delivered today. Thank gosh it actually came in time before the drop. I don't know how many boxes it is in total, but I guess we'll see when we get home. But yeah, Q4 is heating up. Halloween is usually a huge drop for me, so I'm excited to start planning everything. I low-key only have like a week to plan, but it's okay because I have a bunch of content from all these pieces since I dropped them before. So it's going to be a busy weekend, busy next week. But yeah, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I get ready for my Halloween drop next week. It should be a pretty big one. But right now I'm going to go drop this camera off, and then I'll tap in with you guys a little bit later. Alright, so the bulk order just came in. I think this is the rest of the items. 7 boxes in total. All of this on top of the varsity jackets that are already inside. I thought this was the rest of the stuff, but actually I do have 150 more tees on the way too. So most of the drop is here, but there still is a little bit left. I'm going to make another vlog next week during the actual drop week though, so I'll definitely show you guys when the rest of the bulk comes in and when I set everything up on my clothing racks, because it is over like 300 items in total, I think, so it should look like a ton of stuff when I have it fully set up. Alright, so I'm about to unbox everything that came in today for the Halloween drop, and I know I showed you guys it was only 7 boxes, plus the varsity jackets behind me that already came in, and the tees that I told you about that are still on the way. But with just that amount of items, it's actually pretty crazy the potential amount of money we can make off this drop. So the drop came out to be 8 different items, and I made about 50 of each, so that's about 400 pieces. That came in a total of the 7 boxes here, and then a few additional ones for the varsity jackets and the tees. But let's just say between like 10 to 12 boxes total. For 8 different items. Let's just say real quick, everything in this drop was $50, which it's not. The cheapest item is $55. Most of the other items are $80 to $120. So let's just say everything was $50 flat, and I sold everything, all 400 items. That would be $20,000 that I make off this drop. But again, a lot of these items are way more expensive than that. They are $80, $100, $125. So if I sell out of all 400 pieces at that price, the estimated amount I can make off this drop is about $40,000. So of course my goal is to sell out of all 400 pieces, but my real goal for this drop is to sell a majority of it within that first weekend. Since this drop is a Halloween themed drop, it's tailored towards this time of year. I think I can get a good amount of the pieces sold within that Halloween weekend. It's dropping in 1 week on Friday, which is Halloween Day. I think I'll be able to market it heavy throughout the whole rollout next week, and once it goes live throughout that whole weekend. So if you guys have watched my other videos, you know that I don't put too much worry into selling out on the actual drop date. That doesn't usually happen for my brand. I'm super confident in my ads, my content, carrying the weight, and selling out my products within a few weeks of my drop. I usually don't bank on selling out on drop day because it's just not realistic, and it just leads to disappointment, unrealistic expectations. But I do have a general period I like to go by where I know if a drop is doing good or if it's more of a flop, and that's within the first 2 weeks within your drop. So I don't put too much care into if I have a crazy $20,000 drop day. That doesn't really matter to me. I know if a drop is going to do good or not based off my rollout and just how much effort I put into it. But with this Halloween drop, it's different. I do have a goal of selling out within a few days. And the reason for that and actually making that a goal for this drop is because, yes, like I keep saying, this is a Halloween drop. I think it could sell really good just based off that alone. But the real reason is just simply because I'm an established brand. I have all my systems in place. I have a good email and SMS team, a good Facebook ads team. I have good pop-ups on my website. My website is fully optimized for conversions. And I have my rollout strategy for every drop pretty much locked in fully at this point. So my systems are just super well set. They're in place. They work every time. And I've got them to where I like. So I'm pretty confident doing a drop like this, even if it's pretty short notice, even if I haven't even announced it yet. I'm pretty confident that next Friday's drop that is currently unannounced is going to sell out within a few days because of all the work I've put into my systems over this whole time of owning my brand. But yeah, enough of the app. I am going to do a separate vlog of the Halloween drop next week when all the crazy sales come in and the rollout's kind of been done already. That'll come next week, but right now I'm going to start unboxing the whole entire Halloween bulk order, put it on my shelves, and then probably record some TikTok content, some Instagram reel content while I do that. But I will tap in with you guys once everything is on the shelves and show you how everything's looking.
Bring on here, 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 bring the hoes here, bring the clothes here, bring the rolls here, bring the poles here, Billy truck on the road, big B on the nose, yeah, hold up, why sell on my clothes, why sell on my hoe, yeah, why sell on my kid, yeah, whole gang on that shit, yeah, pull up then I trip, yeah, foreign whip list, yeah, whip it chef kids, yeah, plus say on lit, yeah, let's go catch some fish, yeah, bridge full of chips, yeah, I just landed, yeah, I'm the G.
All right, we are back in business, you guys. The shelves are looking real nice and full again. And again, these are not all of the items yet, but it's a good chunk of them from the Halloween drop. Like I said, I do have 150 tees on the way, so that will fill up this rack. And then if my 150 backpacks arrive in time, I'll also add those to the Halloween drop and probably fill up this rack. All of this stuff is looking real nice too. Presentation is literally everything, whether it be teasing all of this stuff on my story, that it's all pre-made, ready to go, or just when the customer opens this stuff up after they order and they see the nice frosted bags with the logo on them. Everything just looks super nice and clean and how it should, and that just adds on to how easy it's going to be to roll out this drop the right way because all of my systems that I have in place. I'm super happy these storage racks are filling back up though and looking how they should. It's going to be super easy for me to promote on my story and post more every day, especially during Q4. That's absolutely what's needed right now. Frequent posting, having stuff ready to ship, and this definitely adds on and helps with that. And now that I got these racks full, I'm trying to keep them that way for a long time, especially since I'm going to try to keep a lot of fan favorite items permanent on the site now, like I told you guys. Instead of doing drops super scarce and one time and limited, I want to have my best sellers always available. So that requires me to always have my shelves full, always have a lot of items in stock. So that's what I'm going to do. It does require a lot of pre-planning, a lot of guessing sometimes. You know, when you're trying to figure out what sizes to get, you don't truly know what customers are going to buy what. So you're kind of guessing on sizes and stuff. But I've had my brand for long enough that I have enough customer history and data that I can accurately order the right sizes for each drop and it not be too little or too much. I kind of have the sweet spot and my customer history to help me with that. And that's all stuff you guys will learn along the course of doing a lot of drops. I went from fully pre-order for a long time with my brand where I didn't have to worry about guessing on sizes, stressing about not ordering enough or ordering too little, to now, the past year or so, I've been doing fully pre-made, and I do have all those worries. I do have all those stresses and headaches, and I don't know if everything I ordered beforehand is always going to sell. but you only switch to fully pre-made when you're ready. And when you're truly ready and you're confident in every drop you do, and you're fully prepared for every drop, you know, whether it be your rollout, everything that we always talk about. If you're fully prepared and you are confident in your drops, pre-made is the way to go over pre-order 100% of the time, because I'm confident all this stuff's going to sell next week, and I'm going to show you guys the whole entire process. It's drop week now, though, so I'm going to get started on the drop week vlog, but a ton of stuff did start to come in already. As you can see, a bunch of boxes came in today. Everything is starting to come together, though, for this drop, so I'm super excited to see how it goes, especially being that I don't think I've ever dropped this many pre-made pieces at one time. I think on Friday, everything that's dropping comes out to 550 pieces total, so it should be a pretty crazy drop. Definitely be on the lookout for that vlog, because I'm going to be documenting the whole process like I told you guys. But in the meantime, if you're sick of watching me run it up with my brand and you've been ready to get started with yours, check out the links down below in my bio. You can access my school community where I teach everything A to Z, how to start a brand, all the basics, everything you really need to know. And if you're willing to go a step further, you could also apply for my one-on-one coaching mentorship, where you will get direct access to me daily for life. It's a lifetime access offer. And I'll pretty much build your brand with you step by step, by your side the whole way. You'll get every single strategy I use for my brand, Juvenile. You'll get all of my manufacturers and a lot more. So if that's something that interests you, go apply in the description down below, and then we can hop on a one-on-one call and see if you're a good fit. That is going to wrap up this video, though. If you stuck around the whole way, I appreciate you. Definitely got a lot more crazy content coming up this year with all the crazy drops coming up, especially this Friday. So be on the lookout for my new vlogs. Definitely one coming this weekend or next week, but I appreciate everybody who's here early on this YouTube journey. We're going to keep it going. So thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time.